Should be.
Oh, I don't see any red light. You didn't have a red light? Anyway, so here we all are.
Yep.
The travelers and the other traveler.
That's right.
So I came back from India and you guys have come from the States.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've just had a virtual tour of India
Right.
on the video.
Surprise, surprise, you
Surprise,
got some,
surprise.
right?
Well, I think it was ordered by Joe.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take the camera because I thought it's going to be a business trip. I'm not going to really have that many
It's
opportunities.
really wonderful being able to get an insight.
Yeah, well, that's
into-
what you were thinking,
Yeah.
weren't you?
and-
Especially as
and
it was a very different.
in some places
Well, if
they
it was
looked
Brussels
awful.
again, I wouldn't
You know,
have
the
bothered.
buildings
No.
looked awful, dishevelled and nothing done, but inside they were beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you come to think of it, they only live inside after.
But I had a couple nervous moments when I first got there because my phone wasn't working. And it's made me realize how much my mobile phone is like
Yeah.
my security
Yes,
blanket.
yeah.
So here I was on the plane and I got the guy who'd been sitting next to me to let me borrow his phone so I could phone Joe and let you know that I had landed because I thought, well, it's going to be a couple
Yeah.
hours before I get to the hotel.
Yeah.
And he's not going to know that I've landed. I thought you might be worried. And then I just thought, well, in case, everything had been set up through this office, but it was an office I'd never worked with before.
Yeah, yeah.
And Harsha, who is the secretary, is wonderful and really friendly, but she said, oh yes, no problem, it'll be set up. And then you think, well, what if it's not, What do I do if nobody's there to pick me up? And I don't know. So I had the hotel details and all that. But so I was feeling a little nervous. And then you go through the immigration process, and I didn't realize that I had to fill something out, because obviously I was sleeping on the plane when they passed out these little forms you had to fill out. So I get to the desk and he says, form, and I said, what form? He says, form, and they're really kind of officious.
Yeah.
And so I got sent back to fill out this form and then got back into the queue. Got through all that okay. Took up my bag, took ages and ages. I was waiting there for about an hour for my bag to come through. And all the bags went through. And I finally said to this guy, the Air France flight, is it finished now? And he said, oh yes, well come look over here. And they pulled some off. And it wasn't in there. And I said, well, no, it's not there. He says, oh, well, look here. And then all these bags that have the priority tickets on them over in this other little section. So I would have never seen it on the belt. It came off first and got taken off.
You know that long.
So then I came out and there was this mass of people. It was just this sea of people. And you had the little signs, of people wanting Mr. Pashawari or whatever it is, you just see all these names, and so I think, where am I going to see my driver and all this? So I walked in, and eventually I did see my name, and he was there. But it was really good because there was a guy from the hotel with the hotel sort of livery on who was there to welcome you as one of the hotel guests, and then you had the driver who was also in the hotel kind of livery. And that was a really good thing because you saw what it looked like when you're driving, and suddenly I'm looking around and you do really feel like you're in the middle of a third world country.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm a woman on my own in a taxi with the guy I've never met before, and I'm thinking, here I am, in this part of the world. And just before we got to the hotel, he went down this little alleyway, which was, shacks and all that. And I remember thinking, if I wasn't confident that these people were from the hotel, I'd be sitting here thinking, where is he taking me? Where am I ending up being? And that kind of thing. But then we kind of got out of the alley, this sort of thing, and then you suddenly drove into that bit which was the hotel, and it was just like a completely different space. It was really weird.
And you met the others?
Not that night, but I did the following day, because it was midnight when I got in.
Yes, yeah.
By the time I got to the hotel, it was
I
about
think
2 in the
you'd
morning.
be nervous anyway.
Yeah, so
At
yeah.
midnight, wow.
And the fact I didn't have a phone, I was suddenly thinking, well, here I am, I'm kind of in somebody else's hands here.
I'm in a movie.
It did. Well, see, the problem is in a movie, at that moment, something nasty happens.
That's true.
And I think that's why we get sort of conditioned, because we watch all these films.
Yes.
Well, I mean, 99% of the time, you probably go through those sort of situations and nothing would happen. But because you see it in the film, and of course when you see that scene in a film, suddenly you're in this alleyway, and then something's going to happen, The car gets attacked, or I get kidnapped, or something like that. So that was a little nerve-wracking.
So now you're upset that you realize they didn't want you.
I know, they turned me down. I'm no good for white slavery anymore. Too fat, too old.
And the ransom's gone up to £15.
You wouldn't pay it anyway.
We'll get back to you on
It's
that.
like, how long can you keep her?
£15? You've got to be kidding me.
So how much would you pay to have them keep her, Joe?
I don't know. I'd have to check with the bank manager.
No more nagging.
No, that's true. No more
What was that?
What does your family think of you coming over to England?
They were excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were excited.
yeah.
Has any of your family been here?
No,
I'm never
And
very
we
keen on being
managed
filmed.
I'm not either.
No,
like
you
that.
can tell the ones who are. I can't shut
Well,
penny
I'm
up.
not keen on
Right
being
down
filmed,
there.
but I do recognise the
And then
value of
make us
having the
mix up. I
film.
managed
I
to
mean,
get
because
something
I
into-
started, I got
to
our
do
camera
it all
in
like that, so
2000.
we
When
can
Mom and
put
Dad were
something
coming
else
over,
in.
we were taking them over to
yeah.
France for the
Yeah.
first time, and I've been wanting to get video for quite a couple of years because the family visits are just so precious when you live really far from each other. So I'd pour over all the photographs. We'd come back for 4 weeks and we'd get all the pictures back from Moto Photo, and it'd be like,
Oh,
I'm,
right.
really
Yeah.
pouring over all the pictures and sort of reliving the trip. And I thought, well, if I could video it, it would be that much better in that
Yeah.
sense. So we got it in 2000, and it's the same one actually. And yeah, okay. I mean, I don't always like being photographed, but I love having the end result afterwards. And we've got some fantastic footage, don't we, of different times.
Yeah.
And then once Dad passed away, it was so valuable to have all of that footage, and you can relive moments in a way that you just can't do any other way. So, and I've got a little bit of my dad's blood in me, so it's like, okay, the camera's on, right? Okay, well, what are we doing here? And
That's
we
where
start to
Duncan gets it
narrate.
from.
and- yeah. So yeah, I think you picture the finished product.
When you,
And
yeah.
then the film. So you want people to just sort of carry on doing what they would normally do.
Well, that's when you start zooming in
Oh.
and then getting expressions.
Right.
Your dad's a bit of a camera
Yeah.
hog as well, aren't you, Dad?
He loves the camera.
Oh, he loves the camera. And the camera loves you, that's the thing.
Dad cuts his own hair in the front, and sometimes he has
Yeah,
big
well,
patches.
he's going to really thank you knowing
Yeah,
that
I
that's now
know.
going around the world.
Oh, is that the one up on the hill?
Yes, and
Yes.
it was a man who owned one of the hotels opposite.
Yeah.
He decided to do something.
And it's just a
with it.
frontage,
He
isn't it?
wanted-
It's not
yes,
a real castle.
Yes, that's right.
It just
And he-
gives you the feeling that there's a castle up
Yes,
on the
that's
hill.
right. And it,
Yeah.
it really does. It really does improve it.
That's just like India, though, backwards.
Yeah.
Front and nothing,
Nothing behind.
Well, they
Yeah.
call them follies.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few of them around the country.
Are they
Just
really?
absolutely
Victorians
pointless
loved-
buildings that
yeah.
someone
Yes.
created for no good reason.
Yeah.
The Victorians like to create this sort of landscape, and
Yeah.
well, even the Georgians before that, and they had this idea of what perfect sort of classical landscape was.
Yeah.
That's when you get people like Capability Brown doing all the gardens and the
Yes.
grounds of these big houses.
Also, Pulteney Bridge is a wonderful structure to look at, and it's beautiful, classic sort of Georgian frontage. But we went on a boat which took us to the far side of that, and we went down the river that way. And when we came back, you see the back side of the bridge, which has all this wonderful frontage, and it's just like garden sheds.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything to the back. It's all frontage.
Yeah, not completely.
Yes.
Oh, you have to get a tree. So are Francis and Pacha and Claire okay for Christmas?
Oh,
They're coming
yes.
up for Christmas.
They'd
aren't
be, they wouldn't be okay if they weren't coming.
I sometimes wonder if Claire would want to bring her boyfriend.
But not this year.
Well,
No,
I
maybe
think-
not this year.
No, I think
Well,
he's
it's going to
got-
be like this
He's
enough.
got a family nearby. And
Oh, does he?
probably
Goes
want-
there for Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd probably want him there.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see him there.
Well, we could have carry out into the living room.
That's
I'm
right.
starting to wonder whether a £4 turkey is going to be big enough.
Figure 5
No
maybe
wonder,
this year?
Just make your mind
Could've
up.
gone
It isn't going to
five,
be
you
big
know.
enough, Jim.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
It's
Well,
not.
we'll just
bigger.
give a little slice to everybody.
yeah, tiny.
A
Using
little
a
dog
scalpel.
dressing.
Do you like turkey?
So am I the one with the crutch this year saying Merry Christmas, everyone?
And God bless us, everyone. Oh, we have to.
Who was the other one? The Patrick Stewart one?
Patrick Stewart did. He was good.
Dad liked that one as well.
Come on.
Hey.
She's happy where she is.
Life
All right.
Oh, lass. Little piece.
She's like torture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We got to squeeze in. Oh, how
At
cozy.
last.
Like 4 bumps on a log.
Just as well you and I are part of this mix.
Well, we could sit on each of the arms,
That's true.
but we'd have to time it so that we bolted at the same time. Otherwise, it would go.
I don't know. I think I'm enough anchor weight here. that that
Yeah,
would
true.
happen.
Probably not. So here we are. You're probably wedged in now. You can't get out.
Yeah, quite a bit of stuff.
Like sardines in a
Yeah,
tin.
where's the cat? I haven't seen the cat.
Oh, he was on the arm of that chair
I haven't seen him
before.
once.
Probably up on one
He's
of the
probably
beds.
sat by his bowl wanting to be fed.
He was on our bed.
Oh, he was on the bed when Joyce and I.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's gone
See,
up there.
I didn't see that.
That's his favourite spot.
Yeah.
And here we are digging into a genuine plate of English fish and chips. So, John, what do you think?
Quite tasty.
Quite tasty. Kim, what's your verdict?
Very good.
Excellent. Mom?
Very good.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to eat mine now.